I guess I'm lucky because I live in a fairly new building, so everything is fine with heating and soundproofing. We have collective heating here and reinforced concrete walls. The building has 2 elevators and parking. But as you can guess, perfect housing just doesn't exist. So today I will tell you about all the drawbacks of my French apartment. Oh, and I will also tell you how much such an apartment costs today. Let's go. Of course you could say, Rita, come on, you're sitting on your terrace, sipping coffee, listening to birds, and still find something to complain about. And I think you would be right. But I do love my terrace. I love spending time here. But here's the thing. The first drawback of my apartment is right here, on this terrace. When we bought the apartment, we had the sliding panels here, which was very convenient, especially when it was raining or during heat waves. You could also just close them for some privacy. It was very convenient. We still have them, by the way, but in this state, they were tied up like this a few years ago, and since then it's forbidden to use them. Why? Because before COVID, one of such panels fell, and on the ground floor are terraces with people. So if it fell on somebody's head, well, that would be it. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it became clear that there is some manufacturing defect, so now we cannot use them anymore, obviously, and yeah, it's been like 4 or 5 years now. We are currently in proceedings because the developer won't accept its fault. It doesn't want to bear the costs, obviously, so our property management company is setting up procedures and expertise, just trying to move the things forward, but for now, nothing is happening. But I do love my terrace. I love spending time here, and I got some curtains for privacy. Okay, now let's go inside. There used to be a wall here and 2 doors which led to the kitchen. We demolished everything and made an open kitchen. Here it's called La Cuisine Américaine, which means American kitchen, and everything would be fine, but for some unknown reason there is some hot air which rises through this cabinet. Some really weird, disgusting, foul-smelling vapors. Fingers crossed it stopped for some time now, but you still can see the consequences here, like some white mold, I guess. So I don't keep any fresh foods here, obviously, just some canned goods and potatoes, which I think can withstand anything. So if anyone experienced something similar, drop a comment below what it could be and how to stop this thing. And let's move to the next. Moving forward, we enter the hallway, and here we have this coat closet, which is generally quite convenient, but if you take a close look at it, you will immediately notice what's wrong with it. First, look at the mirror. It's tinted, so it's practically impossible to see what you are wearing. Well, you can kind of see yourself, but you cannot spot any imperfections. So if something is not ironed properly, or you got something which stuck to you, you will not notice it. The next issue is the lack of a handle, so that you can only open it by catching the edge like this, and it's not so bad, but sometimes when you close it really tight, like this, your fingers won't be enough. So you will basically need a knife or scissors to get the door out of the frame. Yeah. And finally, the third oddity of this closet is this hole at the side. God knows why it's there, because I just don't see the point. And the previous tenants tried to plug it with a stick, which is also quite a strange solution because it doesn't work. It kept falling out. So for now we haven't come up with anything better than just to ignore this hole and pretend that it's not even there. And since we are at it, let me show you another wardrobe in my apartment, which has also been here since the construction of the building. And these doors just cannot stay in place. They keep jumping out of the tracks and falling. Yeah, now it looks like they're doing fine, but sometimes, quite often actually, they jump out of the tracks, and as I said, they, with a terrible sound, they just start to, you know, fall off, and you have to use all your muscles to get them back in. Beside these quirks, the apartment has other inconveniences. For example, the bedroom windows face the road, which means that as soon as warmer days arrive and we open the windows at night, well, it becomes quite noisy because of the cars passing by. Also, it seems like the overall layout could be better designed, but these drawbacks are offset, at least for me, by the fact that we are literally 5 minutes from Paris and the subway is within walking distance. And also the apartment faces two sides, the road from one side and the garden from the other. The next drawback isn't related to the apartment itself, but rather to its location. We live literally 2 minutes from the Seine, which means that when summer arrives, they arrive as well. So you cannot just Netflix and chill as you could during winter time. They just won't let you, okay? The same when you try to sleep and you're constantly listening to this bzzz sound. It's just The only solution that works are those electric, you know, bug zappers, but I guess they're quite harmful for your health, I think. So I don't like them so much. If you know of a better solution, by the way, drop a comment below. I will be very thankful. And last but not least, and by the way, if you live in a big city, you will relate, is that we literally participate in all the stages of life of our neighbors. As soon as we walk onto the balcony, we can see them having their breakfast or lunch, or cleaning, or celebrating something, or having a party. So basically, we are aware of everything that is going on in their lives, and vice versa, by the way. But the main drawback of our apartment is its cost. In Paris, price per square meter in new buildings is generally higher than the old ones. So, for example, in our neighborhood, the price per square meter is now above 8,500, which you understand is very expensive for middle class. For now, we are holding onto our neighborhood, which we love so much, but when the kids will grow up, we'll, I think, need to find more space, and in this case, well, we shall probably need to move somewhere farther from Paris. Well, we'll see. I just don't want to spend the rest of my life paying off the loan, you know. So what about the place where you live? Does it have any inconveniences, or maybe it's just your dream place and it's completely perfect? Drop a comment below, and see you very soon. Bye bye, au revoir.